Prrs is still the main challenge on our farms. When you think you've got Prrs under control, you have Prrs again. So, the fight goes on, and we keep standing by your side, as we have done for 10 years now. We have sold 215 million doses, with a supply guarantee over these last 10 years. We have demonstrated protection against highly pathogenic strains, and our epidermic needle-free device represents a step forward in intradermal vaccination against Prrs. The fight against Prrs goes on, as does our commitment.
Okay, hello everybody. It's a pleasure for me to be here. I'm Salvador from Madrid, from Spain. I'm a veterinarian. I've been working in the field, veterinarian, for 5 years. Then I joined Hypor, which is a genetic company. I was in the technical service for 2 years. And 3 years ago, more or less, I joined hiprakorea as product manager of, mainly PRS. Now I'm taking care of another important disease. And especially I'm focused on Asian countries. So, I hope you enjoy our presentation. I hope you enjoy Carles Vilalta's presentation. We already did. Anything you may ask, it will be a pleasure to answer your questions. Okay, so we are in a context here in Korea of, you are facing now in some farms, in some cases, of highly pathogenic strains. So, today my presentation is going to be focused on these highly pathogenic strains, in the experience we have with Unistrain in controlling this kind of strains in Europe and also in Asia. Then I am also going to share with you some data about the last trial that we have done, especially with this highly pathogenic strain from Spain called Rosalia. And finally some conclusion of all my presentation. Okay, so what we know about a highly pathogenic strain is some different strains that have something in common, that it's they used to have very high infection capacity. They used to have higher viremias in sows and in piglets, with inflammation, with very high fever. You can see abortions. You can see also high mortality, not only in piglets, also you can see high mortality in sows, and I have high percentage of sick animals. What it means at the end, it's big economic losses, and something that especially for you could be important is the level of stress of the farmers and the staff. Because I can understand that sometimes you can have doubts about the vaccines that you are using, because we know that regarding PRS, vaccines are not 100% efficacy, and we know this for sure. But what I want to share with you is that vaccines are not the final solution, but it's a good way to have lower economic losses. Okay. So I will share with you some interesting data. Okay, so as I explained, we can see a higher infection capacity, and this is like the example that we have in Spain. Around 2020, we start detecting the Rosalia strain. This is in the northeast area of Spain, in the place where Carles showed us before. Then in 2021 we saw that 25 of these detected strain in the GSP lab were Rosalia strain. In 2022 it was 49% of the total amount of strains, and you can see that in 2023 it became number one detection strain, and it's 68% of Rosalia. So the spread of this strain, highly pathogenic strain, was really fast. Okay, so let's see what happens with Unistrain when we face highly pathogenic strains. Okay, I will show you some old trials that we did against different highly pathogenic strains, type 1, type 2, and also I will share with you some new data regarding this Rosalia strain. We will see if piglet vaccination is effective and also if we reduce the viral load and the excretion time. Okay, so well, this is not a new trial. This is for a few years ago. This was against a Lena strain that was one of the first highly pathogenic, which we classified as highly pathogenic strains in Europe. And well, we wanted to challenge our vaccine against this strain. And well, at the end, what we saw is a lower number of vaccinated animals show fever, show less respiratory disorders and conjunctivitis, and also important about the virus titers in the nasal secretion post-challenge was also lower. You can find more information, sorry, because we are limited in time, but you can check how Unistrain was partially protective against this highly pathogenic strain. Okay, this is another example of another trial that we did in 2020. This was in a collaboration with the University of Thailand, with Professor Dakrit. And well, in this case, we compare the results when vaccinating pigs with Unistrain, ID, IM, and also we did two challenges. One group was with highly pathogenic Prrs type 2 strain, and another group was with this highly pathogenic Prrs type 2 strain, but also with a co-challenge with a Prrs virus 1. That I know that sometimes this is the situation that we have in the farms. So well, at the end, the results were quite good for the Unistrain intramuscular and intradermal, but here a good point of this trial was that the group of ID Unistrain was even better, especially it could be explained because of the levels of IL-10 and the levels of interferon gamma secreting cells that were better in the Unistrain group. You have the full information here, sorry, because we don't have much time to go in deep. Okay, so now I'm going to explain the next trial. Okay, this was published just 2 months ago, more or less, and this was in Spain against the Rosalia strain. Well, we wanted to check if piglet vaccination makes sense in a context of highly pathogenic Prrs strain. Okay, so to check the efficacy, what we did is in this farm of 3,900 sows, we decided to start vaccinating piglets at 3 weeks of age. And then in the week between week 4 and 6 and between week 6 and 11, we take these piglets to a winning to finish farm. Okay, so this was the diagnostic evaluation of the animals in the winning to finish farm and in the origin of the farm. We start vaccination where we can see this is the first animals vaccinated. And as you can see, well, this farm, win to finish farm, keeps positive until almost the end of the trial. But we can see like some of the animals that we did at the end, they were already negative. So we could negativize this animal like in 2-3 months after starting vaccination. Okay, so well, let's see. Well, very important for me productive parameter, that it's the mortality. You can see, well, in my opinion, this data is amazing because you can see how in the previous batches where we had the first outbreak of Rosalia, only 73% of the animals arrived to the slaughterhouse. So it's a very low percentage of animals which reach the slaughterhouse. And after starting the vaccination, the animals that arrived to the slaughterhouse was an 81% of animals. So I think this data is quite good. Okay, so well, as we can see, the mortality, we improved the mortality in 18 points. Then also a very important parameter is the average daily weight gain. It was also improved around 31 grams per day. And finally, also the feed conversion rate was also better because we had a lower feed conversion rate. So, well, at the end, what does it mean about money? Okay, in terms of cost, we reduce the cost of the weaning to slaughterhouse cost. We reduce the feed cost, as we have seen with the average daily weight gain at feed conversion rate. And finally, we also reduce the medication cost. And well, this is in a context of the peak price that we have in Spain, that it's now around 1.8 euros per kilogram. If we will have the prices of pork that you have here, this number will be much higher. Okay, so well, this is just translated the data from Spain, from euro to your currency exchange. So we are talking about 20,000 of your Korean money. Okay, and well, this is my last trial I will share with you. This is, as Alex explained, we have just arrived to Japan 1 year ago. And we did some trial just at the arrival to prove for efficacy in these jelly bean trials. So I will share with you very quick the information we get from this farm. So well, this farm was vaccinating with a type 2 vaccine, and they decided to prove or try our vaccine from April 2023 till September 2023. The vaccination program was the same, we keep the same they have because they were comfortable with this vaccination program. They were vaccinating 4 times per year the sows, and in this case the piglets were vaccinated twice, at 25 and 55 days of life. Okay, so what we did is to compare the data that we had the 6 months with the previous vaccine and 6 months with the new vaccine. We checked the herd stabilization of the farm, we checked the abortion rate, we checked total born piglets, born alive piglets, and mortality in nursery. Okay, so well, about the strain that was circulating, well, just to let you know that it was a lineage 1 strain based on this classification that appears last year. And Japan has another special classification also, and in this case it belongs to cluster 4, as we can see here, cluster 4. And then about the result that we have when we check the animals, after 1 month vaccinating with Unistrain, we could see how the animals keeps negative during all the rest of the months, and we only detect the vaccine strain, but it's normal because we were vaccinating piglets twice. Okay, so well, this is the results about the abortion rate. We decreased the abortion rate in more than 50%. We increased the total born in 7.4%. We increased also the born alive in almost 4%. And finally, well, the mortality in nursery was not bad, was a good number, it was around 1. But we decreased a little bit this number, 0.6, but in this case the difference were not significant. Okay, so this is my last slide with the conclusions. As we have seen, highly pathogenic strains are all over the world. We can find them in Europe, in Asia, in America. We have highly pathogenic Prrs virus 1, we have highly pathogenic Prrs virus 2. These strains, I can understand that generate stress and desperation in farmers and staff. And sometimes it's normal to doubt about the vaccines that we are currently using. So based on our experience, I have shared with you some of our experience. I think we have demonstrated that vaccinating sows and piglets makes sense, even in this context of highly pathogenic strains. Finally, my colleague Fernando will explain indeed, but I think this point is also very important because when you are suffering for a highly pathogenic strain and we do a mass vaccination in the whole herd with a needle, we know that through needle the iatrogenic transmission can be and can appear in the animals, so we will be transmitting a very high pathogenic virus within the herd. So using a needle-free device, we can avoid this. We have a trial that Fernando explained. So I think it's a really good option when vaccinating in this context of highly pathogenic strains. So well, that's all. Thank you very much. Kamsahamnida. And now it's Fernando.